me, Anne-Marie. So I'm on a bit of a mission today. I'm on a big mission today. And I want to share it with you because on the header of this video, I've talked to you about risks. Are you a risk taker? Are you a risk taker? I am a risk taker. I didn't realise how much of a risk taker I was until today. I took a really big risk. And yeah, it's kind of left me feeling, in fact, over the last week, I've taken a few really, really big risks, and I have to say they have left me quite shaky. And one of the biggest risks I'm going to tell you, look, I want to show you something. This is what my neighbour brought me round yesterday. And she knocked on my door and she said to me, here, I've got a gift for you. And she gave me that, and it says celebrate. And she said, I read your book, and she said it really made me think. And I just think, you know, well done and congratulations. And she gave me that, and it's got a lovely bottle of wine, and it's got some chocolates in it, and I don't even want to open them. But more than that, it really made me real. I felt my tummy started to go a little bit. I felt maybe I felt a little bit embarrassed. Maybe I felt like I definitely felt exposed, and I realised how big a risk I took by writing my book, because in that book is very personal secrets of mine. And I really came home yesterday to realise that actually I've just shared my soul, my inner secrets with the whole world. The whole world can buy that book and read all about me. And I realised how much I've taken a risk on myself, exposing myself, because now I can walk down the road, especially in this little village. I can walk down the road and someone can look at me, know who I am, see my picture on the front of the book, and they can make a judgment on who I am. That's how much I've put myself out there to risk to become the person I want to be, to step into my greatness. And I wonder, what risks are you taking in your life? Hello, lovely people. I wonder what risks you're taking in your life. I wonder how you are daring to be seen. I wonder what you're giving yourself permission to be. What are you doing? How are you challenging yourself? Are you just playing it safe? Jamie Ross, good morning. Are you just being brave enough to put yourself out there, but that if it goes wrong, you can say, oh, well, never mind? Or are you really exposing yourself and raising your head way above so that everyone can see you? Are you making yourself visible in life? You know, when you make a decision to follow your dreams, to follow your greatness, you are taking the biggest risk of your life, because you are exposing yourself to everybody else's judgment. And if you are a person that takes takes a lot of notice of other people's judgment, it can be very, very scary. And I have to tell you, I'm feeling this right now. This book has been awesome, but people I don't know are saying to me, oh yeah, I read your book. And you kind of feel, are you saying that in a way that says, oh yeah, I read your book? Or is it, yeah, I read your book? And they're making judgments about you, and they don't know you, and they haven't had a conversation with you. They're not asking you questions. They're just saying, oh yeah, I read your book, but they're not leaving reviews. So now I have to walk around in this kind of state of, oh my gosh, what they think. But you know what? I don't. It's not my business what you think about me. It's my business what I think about me. And that's where I've had to come to. And I have to tell you, it's been a real challenge for me, and it really made me think this morning. That's why I got on, because yeah, it is lovely. She brought me this lovely gift to say well done and congratulations, and it got me to thinking of what other people in my life do I admire that really do live their dream, that really do put their head above and are risking and willing to be seen. And I've got one very good friend. She's actually on Facebook, and we're meeting next Friday. I'm not going to tell you her name, but you know, this woman has she has suffered from an illness, and quite a few times she thought this illness was going to beat her. And because I suppose, I have to be honest, she stared death in the face. She's been so brave, and now she's living her life in such a brave way, in such a fearless way. And I'm watching her, and I don't mind telling you, this morning I said to my son in the car this morning, I said, you know, do you look at your friends sometimes and you're like a little bit jealous of them? Like you think, how are they going so far forward? How are they doing things? And I think I'm doing the same, and I'm not kind of getting the quite same breaks as them. Do you ever feel like that with any of your friends? Yeah, envy is not a nice feeling, but it's a normal, natural feeling if you allow it to be so. But I was watching this woman from afar, and I'm seeing she's going on fantastic holidays and she's doing all these amazing things. And I just had to step back and think, no, you know what? You should be inspired by this woman, because she is living her life fearlessly, and that's why she is able to do all these amazing things. She's not going to be living with any regret. She's faced that fear already, and now she's just living her life. And because she's living her life and manifesting and thinking about all the things that she's wanted to do, it's all coming to her. And I've got to tell you, I'm inspired by her. I'm inspired, and I even sent her a private message this morning. And I said, I see what you're doing on Facebook. I didn't want to put it out there for everybody to see. And maybe I should have done, but I said, I see what you're doing on Facebook, what your Facebook and what you're doing in your life, and the business things that you've got going on, and the personal things that you've got going on. And I just want to tell you, I'm inspired by you, because you have such an inner strength, and you have a gift that I can only hope to cultivate in myself. She has the gift of self-belief. She has the gift of faith. She believes she can do anything she sets her mind to. And I am so, good morning, Zena. I am so in awe of the fact that she's fearless in the way that she lives. And she's a young woman. And I've got to tell you, this woman, she faced death. She faced leaving 2 young children behind. And when she got over her illness, and it was the small c, we call it the small c because we don't give it any credibility. When she mastered and overcame that small c, she has just lived her life. She goes to these exotic places she's go to, and maybe people look from the outside and think, oh, how does she do all that? Not me. I look and I think, I want to do all that. I want to be as brave as you. I want to live my life as fearlessly as what you do. So I'm going to share with you the biggest risk that I took, and you might think this is a small risk, right? But for me, it's a massive risk, and I need to give you a little background behind it. And I know there's a few people watching, but I'm going to tell you this is going to be valuable for you, because I'm talking from my heart now, right? Good morning. So when I was about 14, I'm going to get a bit emotional because I really want to share this with you. When I was about 14, so I was in care all my life. I was in foster cares, foster parents, this one, that one, children's homes, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, all my life. And when I was 14, I got sent to this foster home with this mum and dad, and they had 3 kids of their own. And it was a big house out in Swanley. And I was there for maybe 3 years, the last 3 years of my being in care. And I really wanted a mum and I really wanted a dad, so badly. And when I went to live with them, I thought, oh, look, I've got a mum and a dad. And I really wanted everything to be perfect, white fence, lovely. You know, I wanted that dream of being in a family. And one day I thought, you know, I'm going to be really brave. And I went and bought some daffodils. And I walked home from school and I went into the kitchen and I thought, I'm gonna call her mum. I've never ever called anybody mum in my life, ever. And I just wanted to be able to call somebody mum. And I walked into the kitchen and I thought, I'm just gonna just say it casually so she doesn't even really notice, you know. But obviously I did want her to notice, and I wanted her to be like Annie, like my name. I wanted her to say, oh, they're so beautiful, I love you too. I just wanted that dream. And so I got the daffodils and I was so scared, and I kind of had them, and I thought, right, do it now. So I said, oh, hi, Mum, these are for you. And she didn't even acknowledge it. I don't know if she heard or whether she chose to ignore it, I don't know, but she never said a word. And I've got to tell you now, that was the one and only time in my whole life, up until this day, that I ever called somebody mum, ever. And it never got heard. And so that made me really scared to be able to show people emotions, to be able to be honest with people. And that's what happens to you when you're a child. You hold on to all this stuff from being really young, and you take it through your whole life, and it stops you from being fearless and being brave and being loving and open and giving. And I could have allowed that to happen to me, but I didn't. Okay, I never called anybody mum again, but I thought, I'm not going to stop me being able to use my heart the way that it was given to me. I'm not going to stop loving people. I'm not going to stop being open. And I didn't, but I always had a little fear from then on of saying, I love you. My children, all day long, when they go out of the house, when they go upstairs, when they come down, they will hear I love you all day long, because the more you use those words of joy and passion and love, the more and easier it gets. Trust me, this is true. And really big secret here, okay? So I very recently actually been in this beautiful relationship, lovely relationship, and I thought, you know what? I'm ready to be brave again. I'm ready to be brave again and say those 3 words, I love you. And I don't know if this person loves me, and I'm really scared. And what if they say nothing? Like, what happened back then? What if I go back to being 14 and feeling that sense of rejection and desperation and sadness? What if that happens again? At my age, will I ever get over that? Am I brave enough to live my life fearlessly? This has only happened in the last week, okay? Thank you, Danielle, thank you. And we were having a conversation on the phone. I wasn't brave enough to say it face to face like I'm talking to you. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to slip it in. And I thought I'm going to be as brave as I was back then, I'm going to slip it in. And just in conversation, we were talking, blah, blah, blah. And then it was a nighttime conversation, so I was going to bed and I said, okay, so anyway, blah, blah, blah. I said, oh, I love you. And that person said, yeah, I love you too. Just like that. Just like that. Me being brave allowed someone else to be brave. Isn't that beautiful? And I just urge you to live your life fearlessly, relentlessly in your pursuit of happiness, in your pursuit of being you to full. Be you to full. Be beautiful. Do it. Because what is the worst that can happen? What is actually the worst that can happen? But the very worst that can happen if you don't live your life fearlessly is that you never get to live life to its biggest, highest capacity, that you live half a life, that you live an existence, that you live never knowing the full gamut of your emotions, never knowing the contrast of absolute utopia and joy and sadness. You have to have one, the contrast, to know the other in its extreme. They are 2 extremes of the other. And just in me saying, oh my God, it was like a release. It's like my heart actually melted. You know, there was a bit of an ice queen in me along the years because I've suffered rejection a lot and I just didn't want to be brave enough. But every time I do something brave again, every time I write a book where, you know, every time I don't write a book all the time, but I wrote that book and I let the world see me. I let the world see my heart. I let the world see into my personal thoughts in my head. And that's what happened. I got a beautiful gift from my neighbour. She lives next door to me. Do you know what's amazing about the fact that I've written this book and my neighbour's read it? I haven't talked in depth to her like that one-to-one. And yet she's read a book about me that I wrote that's my innermost personal thoughts. Isn't that amazing? She knows more about me now than what she's known in the 3 years that I've lived here. I just find that quite amazing. But what's also amazing about that is she can see me for who I really am now. I don't need to be fake with her. I don't need to pretend anything with her. She knows me. She knows me because I bared my soul in that book. And if that's all you can do in life is, you know, just touch as many people as you can. That's why we're here, isn't it? You know, be you, be happy, be you to full. That's the only way I can say it. Live life fearlessly. Take risks, because if you don't take risks, you can't grow. If you can't grow, you can't be happy. If you can't be happy, then what else is there? And that is a quote from Les Brown. Les Brown, who I absolutely love. He's my inspirational master. If you don't know about Les Brown, go and listen to some of Les Brown's live recordings. He has a fabulous story. He's an amazing person and he's totally inspirational. I love listening to him. Like whenever I'm down or I'm down on myself, I just listen to him and he just lifts me and raises me. And I hope this morning I've lifted you and I've raised you. Thank you for all the love. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And if there's one thing that you can take away from this morning, please live your life fearlessly. And, you know, live full, die empty. Live full, die empty, be happy. That is my message for you, Danielle. You know, he is the master of happiness, right? He is the master of happiness. And I just want you to think today, what risks are you going to take today to take your life to the next level of happiness? What are you going to do? How could you be brave today? How could you challenge yourself? How could you come out of your comfort zone? Because that's where the true happiness is. How can you do that today? Just one thing that I did it. I've done it a lot this week, you know. I put that book out there. I said those 3 magic words. How are you going to challenge yourself? We've only got till Friday. Oh my gosh. And I've got something else to tell you as well. And Danielle, I think you're going to love this. Something else. I mean, look at this. I do so many fearless things. I actually forgot something else I want to share with you. Hey, I am the new inspired host for Essex. What is Inspired? Inspired is an evening of people that come up and share their story. If you had 10 minutes, Danielle or Jamie, if you had 10 minutes to share your message with the world, what would you say? What would you share? What insights would you give? What have you learnt that you think the world needs to know? Listen to me. You've got an opportunity to share it. This night is going to be the second Thursday of every month. It's in a beautiful venue, which I will post up later, in Brentwood. It's right by the station. Come out of the station, you turn left, and it's literally across the road. And anybody, just DM me, please do, can come and speak for 10 minutes. You're going to be recorded. You're going to have a wonderful audience. You're going to be inspired by your fellow guests. I actually spoke on an inspired stage twice now, once in Brighton and once in London. And I've got to tell you, I thought I had a story. I thought I had a story until I listened to some of the other stories on that stage that evening. And, you know, you just don't know how amazing human beings can be. You can look at somebody and think, I know your story. And then they get up and speak and they blow you away and you go, wow, what an extraordinary person you are. I want to see extraordinary people on this stage in Brentwood. If you have that desire, if you know you are not an uncommon person, if you feel there is more to me than what the world has seen, if you absolutely 100% know, I haven't fulfilled my destiny, I haven't given my message to the world, I have been reckless and I have been aimless in actually delivering who I am to the world, and this is my opportunity. I would love to see you there. Come and join this wonderful, happy family, the Inspired family. It's just going to be awesome. So that's my news for today. That's my shares for today. I hope I've lifted you in the same way that Les Brown lifted me this morning. I wish you love. I wish you joy. I wish you happiness. Live full, die empty. Be you, too full.